The Galactic Defense Academy's training hall fell silent as Instructor Vex Thor clicked his mandibles together in barely concealed frustration. The towering Krillian had trained thousands of cadets across dozens of species, but the human standing before him presented a unique problem. Cadet Martinez, the instructor's translator, crackled, "You will demonstrate close-quarters combat technique. Standard protocol. Choose your training weapon." The human, a wiry female with scars crossing her knuckles, surveyed the rack of dulled blades, shock batons, and ceremonial staffs. The other cadets, a mix of reptilian Esseskitar, crystalline lumens, and hulking Borvaxians, watched with varying degrees of interest. Humans had only joined the galactic community 3 cycles ago, and their combat doctrine remained largely mysterious. Martinez walked past the weapon rack entirely. She grabbed a maintenance mop leaning against the far wall, tested its weight, then snapped it over her knee with a sharp crack that echoed through the chamber. 2 cadets jumped. Instructor Vex Thor's eye stalks retracted slightly. "This will do," she said, holding both halves like batons. "That is not regulation," Vex Thor managed. "Neither is war, sir." The instructor gestured to a training drone hovering near the center mat. It activated with a hum, its difficulty setting adjusted to human physiology, which meant approximately 40% of what the Borvaxians faced. The galaxy had learned quickly that humans were fragile compared to most spacefaring species. They broke easily, tired quickly, and lacked natural armor or weaponry. What happened next would be discussed in academy halls for generations. Martinez didn't wait for the drone to attack. She closed distance with startling speed, using the shorter mop piece to deflect the drone's shock prod while driving the longer piece into its sensor cluster. The drone adapted, as programmed, splitting into 3 smaller units that circled her position. This should have overwhelmed her. Standard doctrine taught cadets to hold position, defend, and wait for an opening. Martinez did the opposite. She threw one mop piece like a spear, impaling a drone mid-flight, then rolled under the second drone's attack arc coming up inside its guard. She jammed the remaining mop handle into its propulsion vent. The drone spiraled wildly, crashing into the third unit. Both exploded in a shower of sparks and shrapnel. The entire engagement lasted 11 seconds. Instructor, a Sitar cadet hissed, her forked tongue tasting the air, nervously. The human didn't follow any recognized combat form. "No," Vex Thor said slowly, his multiple eyes fixed on Martinez as she retrieved the mop pieces. "She didn't." Martinez turned, slightly out of breath, but otherwise composed. "Permission to speak freely, sir?" "Granted." "Respectfully, your training focuses on efficiency and form. That's fine for species with natural advantages. Armor, venom, size. Humans don't have those luxuries. We evolved fighting things bigger and stronger than us with whatever we could grab. Stones, bones, sticks." She held up the broken mop handle. "A mop works just fine." A Borvaxian cadet, massive and armored like a living tank, rumbled a laugh that sounded like grinding stone. "But the mop broke. You destroyed your own weapon. I improvised. That's the point. On Earth, we have a saying, survive first, look pretty later." Martinez tossed the mop pieces aside. "Every species here trains to fight with their strengths. Humans train to fight with anything." Instructor Vex Thor was silent for a long moment. He had read the human military histories, the accounts of soldiers using entrenching tools, helmets, even rocks when ammunition ran out. He had dismissed them as embellishment. Surely no species would voluntarily enter combat, so poorly equipped. "Cadet Martinez," he said finally, "you will lead tomorrow's irregular warfare seminar. All cadets will attend." "Sir." Martinez looked genuinely surprised. "The galaxy has known organized warfare for millennia. We have perfected it. But you humans..." Vex Thor's mandibles clicked in what might have been respect. "You have perfected something we never considered necessary. Desperation." The human smiled, a predatory expression that reminded every cadet present why humans had earned their place among the stars despite their physical weaknesses. They were creative, adaptable, unpredictable. and they absolutely refused to die quietly. As the cadets filed out, discussing the demonstration in hushed tones, Instructor Vexthor made a note in his personal log. Recommend all combat instructors observe human training methods. Enemy forces expecting conventional tactics will be unprepared. The janitor arrived later to find his mop broken in half. He sighed. It was the third one this month. The humans kept borrowing them for training exercises. He made a mental note to order mops in bulk, and perhaps invest in reinforced handles.